Thank you for watching the World Community Magazine's Hour of Power Live on Facebook with your hosts Edward McQueen and April Garner.
Here we are live, getting ready to get our people ready for some of our colleges that just waiting on them to come out there. Okay, they're offering a lot of incentives. Okay, I just got a lot to say, but let me say good evening to our audience, and thank you so much for tuning in today. And I, along with myself, with April, co-host, we are very much in tune today to discuss with our audience, and hopefully you can respond with your comments about what's available. I use that word, what's available to a lot of our colleges that you haven't seen, and to our young people, if you're planning on going to college, you know, we have some stuff for you today that we think you're going to like. So, April, we have a guest today who can fill us in on all that, right?
Yes, we do. We have a very special guest today. And we have Janet Keith Thompson, who is going to talk about not only college readiness, but also career readiness, because sometimes college is not an option, meaning it's not in the interest of the person who is ready to hit the workforce, and that's okay. You know, it's some people just want to hit the ground running and enter the workforce and get started in whatever career path, or they may not be interested in a four-year college. But the great thing about our guest is that she's worked in with the four-year college environment. She's worked within the two-year college environment. And so she has a very, very deep background in education and counseling, and knows how to direct students to, you know, down the path that they want to take. So we're going to bring on now Ms. Janet Keith Thompson, co-founder and CEO of the Mamie, Keith, and Aline Bradley Educational Foundation, also known as Educate Our Youth. Good evening, Janet. How are you?
I'm great. How are you guys?
We're doing well tonight.
Very well.
Good. Glad to be with you.
Oh, so glad to see you. We've been chasing you down for years.
Oh, now you know where I'm at. Very easy to find.
Chase you down. Look at with all this information you got about going to these colleges, man. I got tell some of my nephews, nieces.
Yes, they can join me on Tuesdays, every Tuesday except the second Tuesday in the month.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we just thought that it just needed to be brought forth out there much more, and that's one of the reasons why we wanted you on the program, to kind of like my favorite word, April, is propagate. We can propagate all the knowledge that you've collected, you know, and in particular, one that I was interested in was, you know, the option of virtual tours of these colleges, and you know, we're making it simple. We're making it easy for everybody to help and make a choice. Okay.
Well, let me tell you how I got involved with this. By creating this foundation, I worked in higher ed at OA Georgetown Technical College in talent search until 2016. And talent search was a trio program. And we do the same thing that Educate Our Youth is doing. We mentor students. We assist them with applying for financial aid. We would carry them on college tours. We would help them to decide, figure out which career they want to go to, or if they didn't want to go to college, you know, a lot of them went to I'll get confused. On 701, I can never think of that school.
Voc Rehab,
and also there's several places, several schools, tech, 2-year college that they decide to attend to go into barbering or to go into doing hair cosmetology. So when we ended the program in 2016, I decided that I wanted to continue working with students and the information I learned while working with talent search. So that's how Educate Our Youth came about. So that's what I've been doing, and I really enjoy it. I've contacted several HBCUs, and as I said, we're on Tuesdays. But the thing about working with students is working with the parents as well. getting them to help their students to make right decisions. And there's 4 ways to encourage your child to go to college. And one of them is to let them take a personality test. This personality test is called Myers-Briggs Test Indicator, also known as MBTI. But it just gives them an insight of their personality and what role will best suit them when they go to college or when they complete their education process. And this test is given by guidance counselors, your therapist, or either college advisor. And the reason that they need to administer the test because they can explain to the students exactly what the results are. And it just helps them to understand a sense of whether they're introverted or extroverted. Introverted people are kind of shy folks. Extroverted, they're on the cheer squad and they're doing all kinds of things, getting involved with a lot of associations and people. How sensitive you are to things. It tells you all about your senses. It tells you about your feelings, that kind of thing. So that would be a great idea, a great start for parents if their child is talking about going to college. And they could take this test in high school.
I might add that, to our audience that Myers-Briggs is given even in the professional workplace.
Exactly, because I took the test as a professional in my workplace. So, and it really, I got a good insight of who I am, which I sort of knew who I was, but it sort of validated the things how I thought of myself, after taking the test. So it's a good indicator. And the other thing is to talk to industry professionals. If your child, let's say, is interested in going into civil service or going into medical or pre-med, or if your child's interested in going to actual industry, there to make things. There's Combraco. There's I think it's a site on the Myrtle Beach campus where they can learn technology about airplanes, things of that nature. So, but they need to sort of request if they could visit that site and go in and just take a tour of it to see if that would suit them, to see what the day-to-day task is about. Because every job or every industry that you think you might fit, once you get into it and experience what it's really like, and that may not be for you, so at least you get an idea of what you want to do if you would reach out to some professionals, industry professionals. And the other thing would be college tours, which was one of the amazing things that we were able to do in Talent Search. And one of the things that I'm looking forward to doing with the students that joining the program is to take them on college tours. Excuse me a second, I'm mouth getting dry. But with COVID and funding, that's when I came up with the idea. Let's do virtual tours, and also with one of my board members who is also the co-host here, to do college tours. We would do virtual tours, and so we hosted for, I guess, around 25 HBCUs, beginning from Claflin to Morehouse to Virginia State. We just had Bennett College on recently. North Carolina State. North Carolina A&T, Fayetteville State, Elizabeth City. What are some others I have here? Claflin, Johnson C. Smith, Bethune-Cookman, FAMU. And the majority of these admission counselors come on. They do bring some virtual information about the campus, what it looks like, the structures, some of the campus history. And that's one of the things that I would continue to do until I can actually, take students on tours, so that way they can actually put their foot on that campus, because every college is different. The academics is the same. Your purpose of being there is the same, but every college is not a one-size-fit-all, colleges and universities. So, you need to visit these schools, and parents, if you can, take them out, take them on those tours this night, make it a nice weekend. One of the better times, I think, the tour is when the students are in. The majority of the time, they like for you to tour during the summer. and that way you're not disrupting, class studies and things. But the students will get a better insight if they can schedule a tour during the spring part of the year, and they can actually see the students interacting with the professors, and have and meet some of the professors, meet some of the admission counselors and the registrars while they're on campus. So it's a good fit. And lastly, it would be another thing is to reach out to mentors that want your child to succeed. And these mentors would be your pastor, your coach, your guidance counselor, your aunties, your godparents, all your older brother, older siblings that's already attended school. They can give a good insight and also kind of help the child decide which way they want to go as far as entering college.
Okay, well, Janet, you've given us a good overview of some things that parents and students need to think about and possibly engage in as they are charting their college or career path. But let's back up a little bit and talk a little bit more about your organization, the Mamie Keith and Aline Bradley Educational Foundation. Tell us how that was founded, and what are your primary goals with that foundation? It is a nonprofit, which is awesome, and I think that it's important for people to understand that your passion for education is the main reason why this particular organization was born. So tell us a little bit more about the foundation and what your goals are.
Well, the foundation came about in 2018, as I said, right after I retired, and I wanted to continue to work with students, continue to help them form some ideas about where they want to go after high school, or what they want to do after high school. And the foundation is really to offer students, let's say if a child is applying for financial aid and mom and dad are not familiar with the FAFSA, then contact me, give me a call, and I would actually visit your home if necessary to help you complete that FAFSA. Also to mentor your students, and also offer tutoring to the students. There are some people that's in line now that have offered their services to tutor in math. So if there's anybody out there that's interested or your child needs tutoring in math, just give me a call or go to our website, and which is educateouryouth.info, and just send me a message, and I will certainly get back with you. But that was the goal. And of course, the tour college campuses. Those are the things that I wanted to do with this foundation, and the things that I will put into motion. But like with everything, COVID kind of pushed me back a little bit. We did have a SAT and ACT workshop, and I would like to continue doing that probably in early spring of this year. I do know that students are going to school, so I would like to have this done at the same facility at the library. Hopefully that parents will let their kids come out. They can come out and wear masks, and everybody will be protected while we're there and have a spaced apart. It's not over 20 kids that show up. You know how that goes. You put the message out there, but you get what you can get, and just have the person available to come out and do the workshop for them. So those are the things that that the foundation offers to students, middle and high school students. And come at the first of the year, I'll be going to Georgetown working with the YAP, Youth Empowerment Program, where I will be able to go into some of the schools with some of the counselors from YAP. So I'm hoping also to try to venture into the schools in Horry County. When I started, it was a little difficult. So if anybody out there that can reach out to me and assist me with that, and convincing our superintendent and assistant superintendent to allow this nonprofit to visit the school at least once a week or every other week, it would be greatly appreciated.
So Janet, when you were working with students, since Educational Talent Search was kind of the inspiration behind this concept, when you were working with students, especially those from underrepresented and I guess, underperforming areas, what were some of the things that you noticed right away as far as the type of support that they needed. And what do you think the community should do to make sure that these students are prepared for college and careers?
Well, I think this community should get involved with the school system. What I experienced when I was in educational talent search and working with students, we have some bright kids, very, very bright kids, very intelligent kids. And I found that some of the guidance counselors was not supportive of our children. And if the parents are not supportive of the children and they don't have anybody in the school system that's supportive, then where does that leave the child? So I would play a role with some of the students that I thought needed assistance. There were some low-income kids that was prepared to go to school but did not have a way to school. I recall on my birthday driving a young man to Morris College. He was a homeless young man. He was staying with someone, but he wasn't with his family. And the guidance counselor did not put effort into getting this child into any institution. And so I made sure he had taken that SAT, got his grades back, made contact with Morris College, drove him on my birthday, stayed with him the same way I did my children until he checked in his dorm. And so we need people in the community to, if not come to me, or just check with the school to see if there is a student that's in need, that type of assistance. There was another case where a student, I contacted Morehouse to get him, he didn't make enough on SAT, so he had to go to the enrichment program that summer. But there was a fee, $500 some. So I went out asking for donations, to get this young man the $500 so that he can go to the enrichment program for that summer and enroll in Morehouse that fall. And so these are the things that that I think not just me or the community, but organizations, some of the fraternities and sororities, 100 Black Men, we all can do a little bit more by reaching out, finding the students that are in need, that need help academically, need help financially, and give them help.
Mm-hmm.
Just help them out.
Right. You mentioned, the role of the guidance counselors, and I think the role of the guidance counselors has totally shifted, or it's not the same as it was when I was in high school, and probably not when you were in high school. And
Definitely.
A lot of the guidance counselors, or the majority of them, are focused on more on like standardized testing and other things that kind of takes them away from that organic career development help. And of course, they do not have career development facilitators in the schools anymore.
Right.
And, CDFs or GCDFs are individuals who can focus primarily on career development in terms of, helping students understand how to go down these college and career paths and what they, can be, or, follow their aspirations, to help them with some of like the career assessment tests you mentioned, and kind of charting a plan for success. And so I'm sure that in as far as this conversation is concerned, it's not about the lack of willingness coming from the guidance counselors. It could be the lack of time to be able to do it, because they are trying to meet other standards and in things that the state sets up for them. But that's why it's important for organizations like Educate Our Youth to it's important for them to exist, because of all the things that you said or described in terms of the resources that are needed for our youth. In essence, I take that the organization, and the reason why I enjoy being a part of it, that it is kind of like a mentoring extension, if you will.
It is.
Maybe because you've brought in people to talk about topics that relate to career and professional development. You've even had financial literacy as a topic on one of your shows, and plan to offer financial literacy workshops and things of that nature. And so what I see is the biggest thing that the community can do to help you do what you do is to make sure that the youth are involved and that the youth are aware of this type of resource. Parents, when the workshops are offered, and right now a lot of it is in a virtual format,
Right.
take some time to sign your child up for a workshop, or to make sure that they see the show, which happens every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. except for the second Tuesday of the month.
Yes.
And they will get a wealth of information. And just imagine, Janet you have had the opportunity to bring on at least 25 colleges from across at least the Southeast. And they will never get the opportunity to actually go visit, that many colleges when you're bringing it to their living rooms and their, dining rooms or whatever, wherever they're watching, their bedrooms, every Tuesday night. So, this is a really good platform that you have. And I know Brother Edward was particularly interested because of the virtual college side of it, and just the idea of being able to create the awareness of what all of these colleges have to offer.
Yeah, because some of the handicaps of some of our youth are one in particular, and there's transportation. Some never left the Horry County. Okay, so I've heard. I haven't seen anything. I haven't seen any statistics to substantiate that, but I was told by many people, that our young people have never even gone to Myrtle Beach, the far end of Myrtle Beach. I mean, that kind of took me. My shock.
There are people who've never left Horry County.
There are
people who've never seen outside of the borders of Horry County.
Yeah, and yet they're taught that they should go to college, okay, and they should continue with their careers. And this is where you come in, or where I think virtuality, if that can be expanded in any kind of way, maybe you should explore that. If you even contact these colleges that have done it once before with you, have them expand on that. They may have left some things out. I don't know, but I'm just saying, that it's impressive, with the number of colleges that you have reached out to and gotten some virtual information from, and I think that's going to come in handy if they are, not, this doesn't have to be the only venue that you could do this. Maybe if there was in some way that you could share all those colleges. I don't know if you have them in a memory bank or anything, but have a forum, okay? And for example, Whittemore Park, in the auditorium, show this have a big screen showing of what each college is, what do you expect to see at each college and stuff like that. But get these parents to do that. These parents got to help them do that.
Yes, that's the key, is getting parents involved. April mentioned a little while ago about the financial literacy, which is also part of the program. Teaching kids how to handle money, because one of the things you got to learn when you go off to college is how to handle your money. When you get that money back from your loan, your loan paid, your tuition, your books and everything, and you have a couple $100 left, what do you do with that money? Don't go shopping with it, but put it away, because there's going to be a day that the dining hall is going to be closed, and what you're going to do. It also teach them how to do their banking system, how to keep an account, checking account, how to balance a checkbook. So there's a lot Foundation offers students and parents. It's just getting them to come on board. I have a dream about this foundation, and I hope that God will bless me to bring that dream into reality, because I want to take it further than virtual college tours. You know what I'm saying? And our traveling to college, to the point where students can come in the afternoon for mentoring, for tutoring. And that's going to be something I'm going to have to work out with the school district, because some students will have to be transported to the facility, and parents will have to pick them up by 6 o'clock. So it's just some things that's in the making, that's in the working, that's down the road. But I'm looking forward.
Let's not discount some fundraising in the near future in order to get these students and take them to these colleges. Okay.
Right. Well, fundraising would be that. I mean, April and I discussed that, which would be the next step, is to get out and ask for donations. Think of some things that we could do to raise money, from within the community, and make it happen.
Absolutely.
But make it happen.
Yeah. I think Brother Edward has proposed some good ideas, but I think part of the reason why we're here tonight is not only to spotlight some of the things that you're already doing, but also just to have that conversation about why it's important now more than ever for parents to make sure that their students are involved in some type of college and career readiness program or planning. I think that's the part that is usually missing in the whole equation. And Janet, you and I both know from working in a college setting that you have students who graduate from high school, just as an example, and they'll come to the college for admissions to talk to counselors to figure out what they need to do, and they haven't really discovered within themselves what they want to do. And so it's almost like they're grasping at straws to try and figure out which career path they should be on, and they're not really focusing on their personality, their interests, which of course you've already mentioned why career assessments are important. But I think it's important for parents to kind of impress upon their children, and also for students while they're in school to understand that there's a lot of information. There are a lot of pathways that they can take. Just because you say, well, I'm a business administration major, that really means nothing unless you know what you want to do with that business administration degree and how you plan to apply it. So I remember, working in career services, if hearing a student say, well, I'm a business administration major, my next question would always be, well, what do you plan to do with that?
Exactly.
And I think that that's a part of what you're trying to do with Educate Our Youth, is to educate them about the career pathways, but also, they need to be aware of the colleges that will help them to get to where they want to be. And then on the flip side of that, for just the persons who are on career readiness pathways, you have to be real about whether or not you are college bound.
Right.
You shouldn't feel pressure to go to college if you feel that you don't have the focus or even the motivation to complete a 4-year program. Maybe you need a 2-year program. Maybe you need an accelerated program that only lasts 6 weeks or maybe even a year. And so that's why it's important to talk to mentors who are in education or counselors, and more importantly, to connect with an organization like Educate Our Youth, because, with Educate Our Youth, you're able to sit down with Janet, as an example, to talk about, what interests you, what career pathways you want to explore. And then from there, Janet is able to connect to resources and people, and like she said, industry professionals who can help you decide to make an informed decision about which way you should go. And that's very, very important. So just wanted people to really understand what it's all about. And, I think that as the organization grows, some of the things that Brother Edward was talking about could definitely come to fruition. But in the meantime, it's really more about connecting people to this information. And that's why you're having the virtual college tours every Tuesday night, because at this point they really don't have the luxury of being able to go to these places and travel. And you've done a great job of featuring HBCUs, but we also want our youth to understand that this organization isn't just for people of color, it's for everyone. It may by default or just organically actually support more people of color, but Janet's organization, even the work that she did in educational talent search, was all about diversity and definitely introducing anyone who feels like they need that extra support, and especially underrepresented, underprivileged individuals who wouldn't naturally have, these types of resources. So Janet, you talked about, a couple of achievements that you had, particularly with the young man, going to Morehouse and all of that. What is your major goal over the next year? What would you like to see happen with Educate Our Youth?
I really would. I want still focusing on colleges, but focusing a little bit on careers. You mentioned students not really knowing what they want to do, whether they want to go to 4-year, 2-year, whatever. I ran into a former student of mine that was majoring in criminal justice, but then she wants to go to cosmetology school.
Mm-hmm.
So, so if you're going to major in criminal justice, why? Do you want to be a
Right.
police officer? Do you want to be a paralegal? Why do you want to go into criminal justice?
Mm-hmm.
And she couldn't really answer that, So I think her response was cosmetology. I think I'm going to cosmetology. I want to do hair. I like doing hair. Okay, so you're going to go to cosmetology school. Are you going to take business administration with cosmetology because you want to be the owner of the beauty salon, not just rent a booth? And that's what I want to convey to the students that if you're going to major in cosmetology, that's fine. We need some more in Conway, but get that business administration so you can take that accounting, that business math, so you can run your business and know that when your accountant do your taxes, you can go over the books.
Understand what he's talking about or she's talking about.
Exactly. So I want to focus more on bringing more career information to students, and lining them up, because a lot of students want to take different things that they really, really, really is not a fit for them based on just me knowing them, So I would like to work with students in that way. And again, I'm open to sit down one-on-one with parents and talk about career readiness, what we can do to help this student. I want parents to also be more focused on what's going on with them in school, their attendance. Are they doing homework assignments? Saying, are their grades really good? Do they need to be in accelerated classes or they need to be in regular classes? All these things matter before graduating from high school, before entering college. And it also matters if you're not going to go to college. If you were a child was in accelerated class and decided, well, I don't want to go to a 4-year institution. And I want to be a nurse. I'm going to go to Georgetown Tech. Great. That's fine. I don't pressure students into going to a 4-year institution. As long as you do something with yourself after high school, there's several things you can do after high school, 2-year college, a skill, Tech is offering a lot of things now. They're bringing several little courses back, industry courses back that they had taken away a while back. I don't think they got welding back yet, or do they? Have welding back?
They still have welding.
Because I know welding has ceased for a while, or plumbing. We still need plumbers. We need electricians, things of that nature. That if you don't want to go to a South Carolina State or USC, this is what you can do. So
and also on the flip side of that, I think, I'm sure people are wondering, well, it's almost Christmas time. Why are they doing a show on college and career readiness? And it's because we're at a turning point right now. We're coming out of the fall semester. And when we go into the spring, that's going to be kind of the show and prove time. If students haven't been as focused and they're kind of on the borderline right now, the spring will be that make or break time for them. They're either going to dig deep and they're going to work harder to get their grade point averages up, or to get more involved in things, or, to seek this kind of assistance, especially if they're getting ready to transition out of high school, or they're going to continue on the same path they're on and find themselves behind the 8 ball, or really struggling when it's time for them to graduate and get to where they, want to be. So, now's the time to just kind of think about, well, what do I need in the new year to help reach my goals and to achieve what I want to achieve academically. You also have the athletics and academics side of things. So talk about that a little bit.
Well, academics, that came about getting my husband involved, Coach Thompson, because a lot of students, a lot of parents think they have the best and the greatest football player in high school, and they are good, but colleges is also looking at their grades now. They're not just looking at how well they can catch the ball, run the ball, things of that nature. And a lot of times they don't go beyond high school. You have to be one of the gathers, It's just in their genes.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
You're talking about the campus from Georgetown County.
Yes, yes,
Yeah, all
yes.
just like natural football play, a natural athlete.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody's not cut out like that. So I want students to know, okay, you can play football, basketball, soccer, tennis, what have you, but your grades still matter. And I'm not familiar with all the NCAA rules the way he is, but I think when he was on the show, he broke all that down for us to talk about NCAA rules.
Mm-hmm.
What if you make a high score on SAT, you can go in college, you can go on a scholarship, athletic scholarship with a C, you know, or if you make got an A scholarship, an A grade, you might can go in on a low SAT score with the scholarship, but it fluctuates, and I'm not sure of what the degree that it goes, but they just need to be aware that it's great to run that ball every Friday night, but on Monday morning when you're back in the classroom, you need to concentrate on those grades, because a lot of times you can make it to college ball, but what happens if you blow your knee out?
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can make it to the
parents don't want to
pros.
hear that.
Huh?
Say that again, brother.
These parents don't want to hear that now. Talking about if your son blows his knee out, for example,
I know that.
football.
No, but
they don't even think that. They don't even go to that.
I know. But my point is that education, the academic side of it,
that should be plan A and not plan B.
Yeah. Right. That
the academic side should be plan A.
Right. Exactly. So that needs to go. He got a job somewhere. Somebody gonna hire him. You know. Because number one, he had the grades and he graduated. Number two, he was a star player on that particular team. So that's my concern with academics and athletes. That it's got to work hard, concentrate on that ball, win them games, but you got to win in the classroom as well.
Can I ask you something that maybe still on the point, but a little bit off? Like, you have the co-founder and the CEO of the Mamie Keith. I know that's your mom, right?
That's my mother.
And Ms. Eileen Bradley, who is she?
She is my aunt. She is Reverend James Odell Bradley, who's also a co-founder. That's his mother.
Okay, all right.
And the third co-founder is my son, Terry Williams.
Okay. All right, so that's Reverend Odell Bradley. That's the barber, right?
Yes, that's his mother. Eileen, Eileen Bradley's his mom.
All right.
And Mamie is mine.
Okay, well, I'm sure they're so proud of you. I know that. I know that. You know, but Janet, you seem passionate about it and enough for me to ask. So there must have been something that precipitated your energy to just get right into this. I know you were doing the same thing at Old Georgetown Tech. Yeah. But you must have seen something that you can correct, or something that you can address in your own way. Some shortcomings in our community, for example, in the educational level that perhaps that you feel passionate about, that you can work towards making better or improvement.
Well, what happened was Educational Talent Search had 752 students in that program, and the college did not fight to keep the grant. And that upset on us, and they was divided between 3 counselors. So I had almost 300 students that I had oversight with, and to not provide something extra, to provide something else in place of Talent Search, so that leaves them out. That's why I'm trying to work in both Horry and Georgetown counties, because those are my 2 areas. Or in Georgetown County schools, and I just felt like the students still need that. They still need the mentoring. They need to know about ACT and SAT scores. They need to know about what college they want to select. You know, they need to know about financial literacy. They need to know about financial aid, how to apply for it. They need to know all these things, and so that's what propelled me to move forward with this foundation. I went to my cousin, Reverend Bradley, and I went to my son and said, look, this is what happened. This is what I want to do. Are y'all in? And they were in.
Just like that. Are you in?
If
not, I'm going alone.
Right. Exactly. Well, Yeah,
Yeah,
they need
yeah.
my
If you're
passion
that
about my
passionate about it,
students.
yeah, that's what that boils
Very
down to. If you're
passionate.
that passionate about it,
Look, when you drive a child to check him in on campus on your birthday, and I always take pride in my birthday, say that's my day, but I share
Mhm.
that day with the student, so.
right. Yeah,
Well, Janet, I know you're also trying to grow your organization as well, and there's always a need for people who are highly interested in working with these young people,
Yes. Yes.
because, and I think that people need to understand that you don't have to be an educator with an organization like this in order to be a mentor. You can just really have a passion for the youth and want
Right.
to help them. And, sometimes it's just about an encouraging word or being a level of support, because a lot of students don't always have a support system. So having good, strong board members or volunteers who can help you to do the things that you set out to do with this organization is key. So, what are you looking for in potential members or people who might want to join Educate Our Youth to help you with your goals?
I'm looking for people that have some type of background working with students, whether it's a Sunday school teacher, whether it's a DSS worker, whether it's assistant, basketball, base football coach, or whether it's a mom that's raising her children, that know children, and have the time to put in and the passion to work with these students. Be available, because when I start taking students on college tours, I'm going to need a lot of help. I'm going to need chaperones willing to go out of town with us.
you're gonna need more financial help than anything else when you start, because you're gonna be needing buses, I
Right,
believe.
and
Yeah,
you
she'll
can
get
make
to that part.
you can make the first donation.
Brother L, she got you.
Okay. I mean, look, we're Community Magazine. No, it's okay. It's all right. Right.
Yeah, and tell everybody about helping to fund this organization. This nonprofits, you have to start out with, you got to ask for money, and I'm hoping that,
Absolutely.
that people will reach out to us, and again, go to our website, educateouryouth.info, and click on donate, and it will go right into our PayPal account.
The magazine will definitely, the World Community Magazine will definitely do that.
Great.
We definitely did. But I think we've worked with you before in another capacity.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So it's not an issue there. We'll make sure that our contributions are there. Okay. So you mentioned your goals, but what's the biggest challenge you think that's confronting you now? I know you named some of them just on a smaller scale, but and I know monetary is probably one, but what is your biggest challenge now?
Yeah.
I'm thinking. Let me say this. I'm thinking parents.
They
Am I
contribute.
close?
Well, parents would bring the children out. Now, when we had the SAT and ACT workshop, I think I had around 7. You were there and taking pictures for us.
Right.
We had around 8 kids that showed up, which wasn't bad. I would love to have had more, but that was a good start. And just, I guess, getting the parents to get the kids where we could meet. I would love to meet with my students at least once a month. I have applications for students to join the program. I can disseminate mailing address. I can mail an application. I want to keep a file record of every child that participates in the program, so I can follow that child after they leave high school, and starting with middle school and high school. So I guess one of the hardest things is just getting parents to get the children to come out, and the kids got to want to come out too. They have to show some accountability as well, especially for high school students. Yeah, because those that are seeking to go beyond high school, they need to. Oh, Miss Jan is having so and so and so. I'd like to go, and just have mom to bring you. And having a venue is kind of a setback, but the library has been very, very helpful to me before in using
Mhm.
a Conway library. So as long as I know in time, let them know in time, and I'm good at having my venues there.
You know, one of the great events is to have, I guess, what colleges call a freshman day or something like that, where
Career day, we have
right, yeah, whatever you call it, yeah, where new
college
incoming
career
freshmen
day.
come and we, even if they haven't made a choice yet, they come in and visit a college. You know, let's reverse it if it's possible. Let's let the college heads come at one point, say for example, in Horry County, okay, and or someplace, some central point, and bring their selling points for their colleges,
Well,
okay,
see,
and they could have a good graphics presentation. I've seen some, you know, very, very elaborate graphic presentation that almost puts you there, okay.
yeah, before COVID, a lot of the schools, I think Coastal would put something on. Common High School will do that, where they would have people to come in, admission counts from different colleges to come in, universities to come in, and the
Delta
students
Sigma
get
Theta
to,
would do that as well with their
yeah,
college goal event. So
we get
that's
to
being
meet.
done.
Yeah, to get to meet the students. So, and the students get a chance to meet the counselors. In some cases, they can apply for the school right then, do an application and submit it to that college while they're having the college fair. So that is possible. It would be nice also to have one of our own of education fund, of educate our youth on, but collaborate with Conway High School with one. So.
That'd be a
Right.
good start. I think that'd be a good start.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
All right.
And
What? Go ahead, Brother Edward.
well, yeah, I was saying about as much as I know about Conway High School, they definitely have facilities there to accommodate such things as that. You know,
Oh yes.
from what I've seen, from what I've seen. So yeah. Well, I just made that suggestion because I've always seen cases where young people or you know high school graduates had to go to the colleges, you know, and if some cases if they had the resources, go to different colleges, you know, by some mentoring group, okay. But if the colleges started selling their product, which is the attendance at their school, and all of them, say 10, 12, 15, 20 colleges came to Myrtle Beach Center or something, you know what I mean? Convention Center. You know, I think that would be fantastic. I mean, that probably would be unprecedented. I'm not sure, but I'm talking about the president or a primary spokesperson for that college. Okay, I mean, you got to make it strong where the student and the parent especially will say, "Wow, I mean, this is the president of the college. It's coming here and wooing my child."
Right. Well, Brother Edward, the people that come out to talk with the students are admission counselors and recruiters.
I know.
Right.
I know.
But I want to say this though before we end the show, we get too far in, is that when I talk about getting parents being involved, I don't want parents to take it the wrong way, because I know every parent loves their kid, every parent wants their child to succeed, and parents work. They may not have the time, but if they can't be someplace with a child, and I can ride 5 people in my car, so give me a call if you can't make it to a certain event that we'll be hosting in the future. Hit me up on our web page and say, look, do you mind picking up so and so for me? I won't mind picking up your child, because I know I was a single mom. There's single parents out there, and you got to work. You got to feed them. You got to keep a roof over their head, and you can't always be where you need to be for your student. But keep encouraging them, though. You got to keep encouraging them, and you got to make sure you pop up every now and then to something that's related to him or her academics and their future.
Well, Janet, I think you are doing an amazing job. And you know me, I will not get involved with anything if I don't feel connected to it in some way. And I know that it has been slow growing, the organization, but at the same time, Slow growth gives you a chance to really think about what you want to do, and it also gives you a chance to really fine tune what you're doing. And I think that you are progressive. Even though you're growing slow, you're not staying where you were, just a couple of years ago, and so definitely jumping into the virtual college tour idea. That was a way to stay relevant, but also to bring to the community something that they would not be able to see, especially during a pandemic. We couldn't possibly visit the colleges, so we brought the colleges to the kids. And I think that at some point, we'll get to some of the great ideas that Brother Edward is talking about. But for now, with the main goal being just to prepare the students for college and career readiness, we can introduce them to colleges all day, but if they're not able to unpack the information and make informed decisions, then they're still not making good decisions about where they should go and how they should get there, whether it's college or career. So, keep pushing. And, I hope that there's some people who are watching who would be interested in getting involved in this endeavor, because it has a lot of potential to really impact lives, and especially in the communities that need it the most. And so thank you so much for being here this evening. I really do appreciate it. I enjoy working with you on this. And let's remind everyone of when the actual show happens. It's Tuesday nights at 6 p.m. Yes. With the exception of the second Tuesday every month, because you have some other obligations. But, they can catch it right here on Facebook and also YouTube.
And we'll be back in January. We took a break for December because the holidays and campus is closed on most college campus. But we'll be starting back up probably the third week in January.
Janet, you mentioned the 100 Black Men. You were working with them, I guess, at some point. Were you?
No. I just mentioned that as far as joining, collaborating, and getting people to work with the foundation. I would say sororities, fraternities, 100 Black Men, people of that nature.
I think that there's synergy there that should be investigated or explored. With the 100 Black Men, get a closer relationship in terms of how it can be advantageous to both groups. I think you'll find it surprisingly good.
You're right. Something my husband said to me, which made sense. He said, there's so many nonprofits in Conway, we all should be working together, and that's true. But, it is what it is. So you get who you can get to work with you, and you appreciate them, and you keep it moving.
Well, maybe if they're looking at this program tonight, they'll have it in their minds to want to reach out. Again, I think there's synergy there that could do.
Well, I hope so. And I hope if anybody out there that would love to make a donation to educate our youth, please do so. Youth.info and click donate, and we will gladly appreciate whatever we receive.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Janet. And Brother Edward, we're going to go to a quick commercial break, and then we'll come back and do some community announcements. How about that?
Let's do that.
Okay.
Stay tuned.
All right. Thank you, Janet.
Take care, y'all.
All right.
All right.
All right, Brother Edward, we are back.
Live.
We're back live. And we had Janet Keith Thompson of the Mamie Keith and Aline Bradley Educational Foundation, also known as Educate Our Youth. It was great having her on the show.
Yeah.
Talking to her about college and career readiness.
Yeah, absolutely. I was anxious to hear all that she had, that she was offering. And hopefully some, it's been caught by a lot of people, or, a number of people anyway, to take advantage of some of the things that she's offering. And she gave some good directions on some things. Mm-hmm. One of the commenters say that knowledge is power. We need to take that with a lot of energy. Okay. Mm-hmm. Really, because it is the power, and it was good to hear her expound on the fact that, we don't expect every student to go to a four-year college, mm-hmm. Or even a 2-year community college, but a trade, something that's going to have them, to be a productive citizen. I mean, that helps everybody. It certainly helps me. That helps everybody, because these neighborhoods are changing. Gentrification is taking place. So, we don't know what to expect in our neighborhoods now. And we just have to be ready. And we got to make sure that our people, I guess I won't say below our age groups, I guess, that will be financially able to carry on some of the things that their parents did. Okay. And I've seen this happen too many times where they were not able to do that, and things just explode. And next thing you know, we've lost somebody to to this society where, there's no, we can't help them. I guess I wanted to make that point. I think is she still on? Are you still on there, Janice? Janet?
No, she's gone. Mm-hmm.
Okay, Janet.
Mm-hmm.
It was good. What she offered, and I really wish her the best. And we're going to contribute. I'll let her know that we're going to contribute, make our contribution. The magazine, Rural Community Magazine, will definitely do its part, to make sure she stays afloat and continue doing some of the good things that she's doing. Because I'm really looking, into the immediate, not the immediate, but the future. I'll just say the future. The potential, her potential regarding impact on youth is so enormous. I mean, you just have to stop and think about it sometime. It's so enormous. And she's not getting paid, I don't think.
She's not. I mean, it's nonprofit. She just started it. Yeah. So she's not doing it for pay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So the passion that she exhibited, or that she continues to exhibit towards her endeavors into this project, we just can't take it lightly. Mm-hmm. Can't take it lightly. And again, the Rural Community Magazine will do its part.
Well, that's good. I think that definitely a stepping stone here by featuring her, and we can always bring her back later to talk about more progress, especially as these schools open up and start to get back to their regular way of doing business. A lot of schools are still trying to navigate that process once they think that they're out of the woods and that they have a way for people to come back and be safe and, to do what they're used to doing. Then we're hit with a new variant or, something that pretty much just disrupts the course of business. And so there's going to be a lot of things that will change, I'm sure, as we're looking at how much is happening across America with us getting back to normal. Someone sent me something from NPR that talked about how, Biden is not going to extend the student loan relief anymore. So, you know, folks are now looking at a lot of possibilities in terms of, you know, how things will now return back to normal, and it will feel abrupt, mainly because, you know, we're not being, I guess, kind of eased into it. Yes, we've received notifications that things are going to happen, but at the same time, you know, there's always the uncertainty for the future. And so, you know, now's the time to really think about the options that are out there and what's needed as far as like in-demand careers. And, you know, that's the one thing I think students don't always get, is that, you know, when they tap into careers that will always have demand, that are sustainable, that will not go away regardless of what happens, then they've tapped into something that can last them a lifetime, or at least through retirement. You know, and that's one thing we have to convince our young people of, is that, you know, they need to pick careers that are sustainable, and, you know, where they can really not only make an impact, but they can, you know, truly turn these into pathways where they are not job hopping and they're not constantly changing careers. And it's not to say that you can't, or you know, you have the ability to change careers as many times as you want. But when you take advantage of opportunities like, you know, what Janet was talking about tonight, to really explore those options first, then you'll find yourself, you know, tapping into a career path that, you know, 15, 20 years down the line, before you know it, you can retire from that career and start a new one. You know, you just never know. I really wish that I knew then what I know now about careers, and had that kind of guidance.
Right.
You know, along the
that's
way.
a key word. That's a key word, guidance. And plus mentorship. Okay. You really need that, because you mentioned that you want a youth, our youth should go into curriculums where it's sustainable for employment, that can carry them out to the long term. But you need guidance for that. You can't make it. You need someone to stand there and tell you, say, look, because certain such a thing has happened over in Canada, it doesn't. You're right. It doesn't seem likely that this career is going to help you in 2 or 3 years. Okay, or the trend now is so and so. So I think maybe you should rethink that, and try something else where it's going to be, where you think employment will be sustainable in a certain field. You know, that's why you need good mentorship. Okay, I didn't have it, but.
Well, I can say that, you know, we've got a lot of good ideas, you know, just sitting down with Janet, and, you know, her outreach to me to help her in certain areas. And, but, you know, the thing about the ideas, they're only as good as as the execution. And so, you know, she's taking it slow and trying to build and really stick to the mission and the goals of the organization. And I think if she does it that way, then we can, you know, definitely introduce all the other wonderful things as we, you know, build and grow. And speaking of, you know, the topic tonight, we're talking college and career readiness. And so one thing that I talked to Brother Edward about, as far as what we can incorporate into our weekly shows, is basically some employment information, and let people know about the job opportunities that exist, and you know, what's actually out there. You know, anyone at this stage who is saying, I can't find a job, or I, you know, haven't been able to lock down the job that I want, you're not really looking, because the field is wide open. Employers are hiring because they simply can't find people who want to work. But I think what's going to happen is that there's going to be like a major, increase in the number of applicants for positions, especially at the turn of this year, when things start to turn around. You know, these benefits are going to go away that they're getting, and a lot of other things are going to be happening. And even though it might not be all overnight, it's going to happen gradually, and people are going to find themselves in a position where they need good, you know, stable jobs, because you know, things are actually going to pivot in a different direction. And so there are shortages in a lot of areas that traditionally there would probably be, you know, lots of help or lots of employees. And, you know, in some of these areas where there are shortages, these jobs are the most sustainable types of jobs. The jobs that I'm going to mention tonight are the jobs that can help you progress to other levels. And so, and especially in the medical field. So I'm going to start with, a couple of things, and then I'm also going to mention a couple of community events that are going on as well. But if PRN healthcare staffing, for example, PRN healthcare staffing is actually looking for employees to, fill the positions that they have, and they're now hiring med techs, especially needed for Christmas work. $21 an hour, Brother Edward. $21 an hour for med techs. Caregivers needed to work, especially during the Christmas time, $18 an hour. And PRN healthcare staffing is owned by LaTanya Sanders Miller, who is a member of the network, and she's also the owner of this business. And so if you are interested in getting into the healthcare field, I'll tell any person who is interested in nursing, start at the CNA med tech level, work your way up, because you will understand every facet of nursing if you know how to operate as a CNA or a med tech, and then you move into your from being a CNA to being an LPN and then into the RN ranks. You'll be more marketable because you will have touched every facet of nursing at that point. Whereas a lot of students who go into nursing, they simply enter the nursing track, and then once they get into their clinical assignments and they start dealing with the not so glamorous things that come along with nursing, like some of the COVID, for example, the things that we have to deal with that can sometimes turn our stomachs and our minds. That's when they realize, oh my God, I'm not made for nursing. But it's too late if you've gone through a 4-year nursing program to get to the very end and realize that you don't have the stomach for nursing. So that's why working as a CNA or working as an LPN in the beginning will help you to build up the skills and the nerves and the character that you need to be a nurse at the RN level and beyond. And so LaTanya has some excellent opportunities if anyone is interested. She's looking for med techs, $21 an hour, caregivers needed to work, $18 an hour, and
that's the big one.
There you go.
Caregivers.
Yeah. Yes. That's huge. That's huge.
That's a wide open field.
Yes, it is.
Especially in South Carolina.
And
especially in the Horry County area.
Exactly.
It's the nature of the inhabitants, and that is mostly, hugely, it's a retirement area.
Absolutely. So if you're interested in these med tech positions or caregiver positions, again, caregivers $18 an hour, med techs $21 an hour. Give LaTanya Sanders Miller a call at 843-353-4651, and we'll be sure to post this information. You can find it in the network, but we'll also post it to the World Community Magazine's page. And of course, if you're watching this video, watching the playback, you'll be able to get this information again. But it's 843-353-4651. And that's one opportunity that I definitely wanted to bring attention to. Another area, and I know this firsthand because my brother is a trucker, but the trucking industry is in need, huge, and in need of truckers. And it's amazing because, the thing about going into the trucking business is that some people think that it's easy. And they think that, what is it? I mean, I'm just driving a truck. No, you are driving 40 tons of steel? Is it more than that, Brother Edward?
Absolutely.
Through the mountains, through all kinds of weather. You're hauling different types of material, and not to scare you or anything like that, but just to remind you of how important this particular industry is. Exactly. You have to have the skill. And so, and the focus, because when you're on the road, you can't think about anything else other than, your destination and how to get there safely, how to get not only your cargo there safely, but just you safely, because you're navigating the road with such a large piece of machinery. But it can be a very lucrative career, and there's so many different pathways in trucking as well. I mean, you can drive truck for a while, become a trainer, you can become a manager. Eventually, if you want to own your own company, you can broker. You can have your own trucking base, and so there's one company in Conway that is currently looking for drivers, and it's Gagum Trucking Company. And you can go to Gagum, Gagum, truckingcompany.com. They are looking for new drivers. You would go to the website, complete a pre-qualification application on the website. And this company is based out of Conway and is Black owned, by the way. And so, check it out. They are definitely looking for people with CDLs and driving experience, a little bit of driving experience. But the bottom line is that when you tap into these businesses and you find out what they need, even if you don't have the skill set right away, or you're not quite ready for it, at least you have a thought in your mind about a pathway that you can possibly take,
And
so
and don't be surprised about the training that these employers are willing to offer.
That's right.
Okay? They're willing to go to a great extent, because it's advantageous really for them a whole lot more than it is for you to have the best driver there. They don't mind paying the money as long as they get that product. Okay, they fulfill their mission.
Exactly.
And so they're willing to train whatever it takes, just about, in most cases, however expensive it may be, but they're willing to give you that training, okay, and do whatever it takes in order to reach their goal of having one of the best drivers that they have, because you're impacting their liability insurance there now. So that's why.
That is true.
So that's why they want the best. They want the best. Okay.
Yeah, and that is the truth. And so, once again, if you explore these careers and you find, well, I'm not quite ready, at least if you've had the conversations with the industry professionals, the business owners, you can figure out what you need to do to get ready. There, the colleges in the local area have CDL programs, so you can learn how to drive truck. They have nursing programs. Everything is related. There's an interconnectivity to a career or college path, as long as you do the research, or you have someone who's helping you with resources so that you can figure out what to do. And that's why educate our youth is so important, because this organization is able to introduce young people to ideas about career paths, maybe things they haven't even thought of, so that you're not thinking in a one-dimensional way. So, those were a couple of things that I wanted to mention tonight. And I want to encourage you, if you're watching, to make sure you post your employment opportunities to the network or on the Whittemore Community Magazine's Facebook page. And we will collect that information and do an employment segment during our commercial break. And I think it's just a way to, keep people informed about the opportunities that are out there. And you just never know what it might lead to, Brother Edward. You never know. Some of these companies may be willing to do, something with your summer jobs program and actually introduce some of these young people.
Yeah, we don't let people know that we're not seeking big financial gain behind this, and we're not crazy for doing it for nothing. It's just, and it's not for nothing. It's for everybody.
For everybody,
right? If you can be a better person in the community, that helps all of us. That keeps our crime down, and it makes you, I'm going to say to you, the person, eligible to buy some of these homes that they're putting up here, and you don't have to be renting. All right, and it makes you eligible to be financially eligible for a loan. You get down deep into this thing. We're talking about when you're talking about want to buy a new home. Now we got our young people who can't do that now. I mean, even if the minimum home you're going to find is $200,000. I mean, that's just right. That's just minimum. Okay, new home. All right. Even if a bank wants 5% of that, that's $10,000. You got that saved up already, making what you're making now. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm speaking to everybody. Yeah,
and that's true. And not only just saving, but just having a great career path that has sustainable income, so that you can not only buy a home, but maintain that home, keep that home. You know, it's one. It's I mean, and you can really. It doesn't matter if you're even working at, you know, in fast food. If you are aspiring to go to a higher level as far as maybe management or something to that effect, you will have the ability to save and eventually buy whatever it is that you want to buy. But really, it's all about making sure you are focused on a career or a college path, not just on having a job for the moment, but actually, you know, locking something down that you can grow in and create wealth for your family and for yourself. And so that's what, you know, we really want these young people to understand. And even with, for example, the summer jobs program, that's a way to introduce them to ideas as far as the career paths are concerned. And, introducing the employment opportunities is also a way to introduce ideas. You know, maybe someone will review this and say, you know what, I never thought about that. And maybe that is a way for me to go, is to start, for example, you know, as a CNA or med tech or whatever. And then, you know, because I've always wanted to become a nurse. So that's a good way for you to really find out whether or not this is the career path for you. Just as an example. So, and then, you know, some other things that are going on in the community, I want to mention again, and I know Brother Edward is going to like this, but Christmas on the Farm at the historic Freewood Farms. Remember, that is Saturday, December the 18th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Go out and support Freewood Farms and just enjoy yourself. Shopping, kid zones, entertainment, raffles, food, gift wrapping station, all of that. It's going to be a wonderful pop-up shop. And it's December the 18th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Get ready for Christmas. And then,
if you ever wondered how sugar was made, sugar ultimately, but syrup is made from sugar cane. And you know, you have some people who've never seen sugar cane, so you want to see it mashed up. I take that back. I'm not sure if this is the right time for that, but it does happen usually around November, December, I believe, where they start mashing up sugar cane and making syrup to sell at the Freewood Farm. So check it out.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. And then also want to mention that, we're getting ready for MLK celebrations real soon. Can you believe that, Brother Edward? I mean, we only have 2 or 3 weeks left in this particular. Next week is Christmas. It's the Christmas holiday, and the following week we'll be moving into the new year. And of course, in January, there's a celebration of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And so the Carolina African American Heritage Foundation has already released their schedule for January 14th through the 19th. Make sure you visit www.caahf.net, and that's the Carolina African American Heritage Foundation.net, to find out about all of their activities across those 5 days during that particular week. But also the Conway Horry County MLK Committee has met and continues to meet to put together their MLK plans. And so I'm sure you'll be hearing some information really soon from Reverend Jerry Falk and his committee regarding the plans for Conway. So just wanted to put that out there so that everyone can keep in mind that, yes, we're rounding the corner for January. MLK celebrations are coming up. Yeah. And some other good things happening in the community.
Okay. Well, April, that was very informative. Okay, we're gonna do this on a regular basis. Okay, other people would charge for this kind of information.
We're trying to help people get jobs. We're trying to help people get jobs. Really. I mean, really, you would capitalize on this, but but this is community radio. I mean, TV. Flashback. Hey, speaking of community radio, what are we celebrating? The December issue of
December. Can you put that up or
let me see? I may be able to pull that up. Go ahead and talk about it a little bit while I work on that.
Right. It's celebrates our 10th year, and should April was very vocal during these years, I'd say years, and added a lot of flavor to our radio program. And I got to admit, I mean, I've learned a lot myself, just being a co-host with
Oh,
April
come on, brother.
on our radio program.
You are a mess.
Yeah. So if you notice, if you can't pull it up, April, I've got a copy.
Yeah, I got it.
You got it. You got it.
Yeah, yeah.
You
But
got
you can hold that up so they can see the. Yeah,
Yeah,
you can
yeah.
hold it up.
This is our new edition. 10 years of broadcasting. Okay, not the magazine. The magazine will be 21 years, something like that, 22. But 10 years of broadcasting, and we humbly began with WPJS Radio and in Conway. PJ Paris, PJ the DJ.
The DJ.
DJ, gospel radio, and he continues to blast it out, all the good gospel music out to our neighbors and all the people in the community. And so his growth has been steadily, it's just phenomenal, and we're kind of proud of that. If you notice at the bottom of the, you can't see it right now, but at the bottom is we started off, well, not started off, but there was the group that called the Upward Group, I believe, April. That's in the middle right there. We started with you and Anderson and Craig.
Now that wasn't the start. It was that wasn't the start of the program, was it?
No. I'm just saying that's one of the group. That was one of the early.
Oh, that's one of the photos. Okay,
early guests. The early guests that we had on the radio. That was the one in the middle there. Yeah, and you were a part of that group, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah, part of that group. And of course on the right is kind of update you on the background, which is what you're looking at right now on for the current broadcast. So when you get the magazine, well, a lot of you have it. Just check out pages 13 and 14. You can see where our humble beginnings were, and I'm kind of proud of that. Again, we'll show you some more photos of some of the guests that we had on there over the course of 10 years. We had a lot of guests. But thanks for putting that up, April. Appreciate that.
You're welcome. And I just want to thank you and Sister Joella for allowing me to be a part of this tremendous community effort. I remember when we first connected over a youth program at my former place of employment, and it was amazing because I actually wanted to talk to you and Sister Joella about, a goal of mine. And it turned out to be something that was kind of in the making, I think, as a guest on your show and then eventually as a co-host. And I can't tell you how much I've learned about our community, about our people, about our history, local and regional, nationally. We've been through several elections, a lot of really tough moments in history when it comes down to, and being on this side as broadcasters, so to say, this is not easy by any stretch of the imagination.
Thank you for bringing that up.
It's not, it's not easy at all because, when we bring guests on the show, we have to be as informed about what they're doing as,
Absolutely.
This has been, quite a classroom for me, and I do appreciate it, and definitely look forward to, what lies ahead. So continue to do the good work, Brother Edward. This is, definitely something that you birthed and you and Sister Joella have nurtured, and it does benefit the community, not just Conway, but the world, as you say, and so congratulations to you for maintaining not only an actual broadcast, but also the magazine. It's excellent.
Can't leave out our treasurer, Miss Flowers Fault, Miss Jennifer Flowers Fault. She's been great. She's been just by our side there and keeping things in management and just a great help from the beginning. So we welcome that. And all the others too. They're mentioned on I think page 9 of the magazine. So So we're looking forward to some great things. Starting the new year, there will be some changes, some things, and there'll be some great things that we have planned. Can't lay out right now, but all I can tell you is there's going to be some things that we think that you're going to like. Of course, one of the things that we're going to keep on board is to, like April just talked about, was to keep our community in tune in terms of what employment is available. Okay, we need you to be working.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
you need to be working.
we need you to be working. Okay, really, because we want to see that happen. It's nothing like a good vibrant community. Next thing you know, we start having a lot of businesses, local businesses, people getting into entrepreneurship, and all these young people who say they're going to graduate in business administration, and then Janet says, "Well, what are you going to do with it?" Wait, come on back. We have to find something to get that. After you get that degree in business administration, you must have learned something. Okay.
Absolutely. Well, Brother Edward, it has been a pleasure this evening. Thank you so much. And thank you to all of our listeners and our viewers. We really do appreciate you. Are we going to be here? Yeah, we'll be here next week. The lineup for January is developing nicely, and we'll have more to come in 2022. But thank you again. And if you see news happening, or there's a topic, or some issue or whatever you'd like for us to explore or talk about, just get in touch with Brother Edward. Check out wcmagazine.net. That is the website for the publication and also the broadcast. You can actually watch a rebroadcast of this show and all the other shows if you go to wcmagazine.net. We also have a YouTube page that you can visit, which is WCM Live Talk Radio. And share the broadcast, talk to people about the information, but also just click and share this good news so that everyone can get in on it. So thank you all very much for being with us tonight. We really do appreciate it. What were you gonna say?
Okay. I had you on mute because on the fold out of the World Community Magazine this year, it's a class of 1955. We were able to retrieve some photos, and look, if you see them, I know you're gonna be left in awe. But we do want to say thanks to the people who sent some of those photos. Namely, on there was Miss Molly Alford Robinson. She's the sister of Miss Quinn Alford, okay, and Craig Conwell's aunt.
Okay.
She is the class of 1955. She sent
wow.
Yeah, right. And Miss Lamonia McCall Dixon. She's right here in Conway. She supplied some of the photos also. So I just want to say a shout out to those. And thanks first of all, thanks for listening and looking at our program. Okay, and just want to do that. We respectfully appreciate what you did by sending us this information and photos, and I'm left in awe myself.
Yes, it's nice. It really is nice.
Right, and but I think the communication with Joella has been the she is the producer of all this, so we thank her and
absolutely
and communication with Ms. Molly Alford Robinson and Lamonia McCall Dixon. Okay, check out that's the fold out in the magazine, and for those of you who have gotten it online, that's pages 23 and 24. Okay.
Yeah, and if you're interested in subscribing, when you click on the magazine, is it page 3? Page 3 gives you all the information about how to subscribe and get the monthly copy of the magazine. So make sure you check that out. Is it page 3, Brother Edward?
I think it was page this time. I thought it was page 9.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yes, page 9 this time.
Okay, look in page 9 this time. Yeah,
page 9. All right. Look,
okay, Brother Edward.
April, it's been great. It's been great.
It has been great. Okay, thank you so much.
Regarding my brother, well, how's he doing?
I certainly will. He's doing just fine. Yes, he's doing just fine.
Oh, man.
All right. Well,
It's always
take
good night
care.
talking with you.
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
Good night.
All right. Good night.
Thank you for watching the World Community Magazine's Hour of Power Live on Facebook with your host Edward McQueen and April Garner.